An- Another tough loss for the Bucks today. Damn, man, I didn't want our season to start like this. Going into 2024, we had this game under control and completely. We should be good now. Check the audio should be good now, y'all. Audio good, Joseph? Can you hear me? Okay, good. We good. All right, my bad, y'all. Mic wasn't plugged all the way, and I'll just get an intro one more time. I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic, Milwaukee Bucks trades, rumors, and news live edition. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with the people. I just got home from Fiserv Forum in front of friends and family, where the Milwaukee Bucks starting off the 2024 season with an L. Um, Unfortunately, against the Pacers, everything was going right in the first quarter. Dame was going, the passing, pick and roll. And it seemed like after the bench came in, we couldn't get anything together anymore. It just seemed like that was a distant memory. I don't know why the wheels came off like that. I'm not sure why Griffin wasn't able to get us back together. I also don't know what's up with his rotations. It and Dame played terrible today. Before we even get, I know y'all gonna go in on Pat and all that, but Dame played terrible tonight. Dame did not play well. 3 of 16, 1 of 9 shooting threes. That's not gonna get it done. Though we still should have won besides that, but that's not gonna get it done. I'm pretty disappointed in that performance by the Bucks today, especially when the Pacers shot terrible from three. The Pacers were only 5 of 35 from three. But shout out to the refs. Shout out to the refs. They almost shot 40 free throws tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That also had an impact. 40, what they were 31 to 38 from the free throw line. That's crazy. It was so many terrible calls in this game on top of what else was going on. This was just hard to watch. I know we didn't get much from the bench. Bobby didn't play well. Campaign didn't play well. Connaughton didn't play well. Jackson Jr. only played 5 minutes. These rotations, we got to talk about that, chat. These rotations are very interesting. As y'all come in here, can you please hit the like button? Much appreciated, Bucks Nation. Let's start this year off right. Let's get them likes up. Salute to the chat. Let's get into these numbers real quick. Unbelievable. Bucks lose to the Indiana Pacers 122-113 at Fiserv Forum in front of friends and family. What really hurt us, Halliburton had a great second half. We held him in check in the first half. Second half, he erupted. 11 of 22, only 1 of 7 shooting threes, 11 assists, 2 turnovers, 26 points. Miles Turner had 13. All these other people don't matter. This is who killed us tonight. This man right here. TJ McConnell was out there looking like a young Mark Price. That's who was giving us work today. He is what made the difference in the fourth quarter. He was hooping. And the third, he had, look at this, 16 points, 9 assists, plus 31. Highest on their team, plus 31 is crazy. TJ McConnell. And then Benedict had 25. We shouldn't have lost this game. We gave this game away. We shouldn't have lost this game. And shout out to Middleton, too. Let's talk about some positive. Middleton looks like he's back. Obviously, he's going to have the turnovers. He had 4 today, but obviously Middleton is back, so it's good to see on the positive. Middleton with an effective game, another 20-plus game. Giannis with a triple-double. He had a monster game, 30 points, 18 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 blocks. He did have 4 turnovers. I know people are saying, why did he shoot the 3 threes? I'm not too mad at that. He has to take them every once in a while. 3 is not bad. Let's be happy that the 8 of 11 from free throw line was impressive. Middleton, 9 of 13 from the field, 6 assists, but the 4 turnovers, some of them were at the worst time. Lopez had 21, 4 blocks, 5 rebounds. Lillard, 3 of 16, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 turnover, 13 points. Beasley was hot early, 4 of 8 from the 3-point line. A lot of that was in the first quarter. Then we just didn't see him anymore as far as doing anything offensively. Bobby struggled, 4 of 12, 8 points. Campaign had 5. Connaughton 3. Man, it doesn't. Man, I'm not gonna even read off these stats. Our bench didn't even give us 20 points today. I know Dame struggled, but even if our bench gave us 20 points, we win this game. Let's be clear. I'm gonna bomb on Dame. Dame didn't play well, but even if you take Dame out of it, if you get anything from the bench, we would have won this game. The bench gave us nothing again. That is a combined. What is that bench? Bobby had 8, 13, 16 points from the bench is crazy. That's another reason we lost this game was the bench. The bench gave us nothing. And then when he saw the bench giving us nothing, he still didn't get the young guys in there. Where was Andre Jackson Jr.? Where was Beauchamp? Why were they not playing when it wasn't going well? Why didn't you at least insert when they started coming back on us? You just stayed to your rotations. He is stuck on these rotations, and I've seen a lot of the things that I didn't like about Bud happening with these young guys now. This is supposed to be when he told us, oh, allegedly he's a player's coach. Oh, allegedly he's developed Jimmy Butler, all these people. What is he doing with our young guys? You got these dudes all types of DNPs for no reason. Whenever they come in, they hooping. What's up, Griff? You love Pat. Pat has his moments. But when Pat is playing 24 minutes, giving you 3 points, Pat's cutoff is 10 minutes. If you don't see anything from Pat in 10 minutes, get him out of there. Also, I would like to say the pick and roll was working in the first quarter. Giannis and Dame, I saw all types of ball movement. Then I didn't see it no more the rest of the game. How does that happen? Why did that happen? Grip, why didn't you tighten up on that? Why didn't you go back to what was working? When you saw the league vanishing, why didn't you put the right people in? Why did you like, forget it, let's put back in the starters? If they got to run 40, sometimes they got to run 40. We clearly weren't getting anything from the bench. Ridiculous. And the almost 40 free throw attempts, these refs are trash. These refs are trash. 40 free throws for the Indiana Pacers, and they was like, why wasn't Dame taking it to the hole? He wasn't getting no calls taking it to the hole. Dame was taking, they wasn't calling nothing. Nothing. This is getting out of hand with this officiating. It's really getting out of hand. Also, offensive rebounds. That's a problem today. 14 for the Pacers. Points in the paint, again, 64. This is why we go in, even when we win, it's the same problems. We have to resolve the offensive rebound and the defense in the paint. This needs to be resolved. Absolutely terrible. We'll recover, but we got to get some identity together. Let's get them likes up, ladies and gentlemen. We got to figure this out. This is why Bucks Nation goes in when we lose, when we see these patterns happening. Because all the big scoring is covering up the issues that we really have. And you're seeing them today. The lack of defensive identity or sticking with it. Offense, when things are working, not sticking with it. We need to figure this out now. This is getting ridiculous. Let me tap you in here, Daniel. Hold on a second. What up, Daniel? Bleacher Report boss. What's good, bro?
I'm trying to eat a snack, man. Trying not to get too mad right now, man.
All right, I feel you. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this super chat. Shout out to 78 with the super chat. Hold on 1 second. Let me get that super chat. While you doing that, hold on 1 second. 78 with the $20 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. I blame Giannis and Lillard. Dallas played like trash, and Giannis was too passive. The refs keep helping the Indiana facials because they want a new rivalry. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe that's what it is. Shout out to 78, LDBC, my man, the general. Maybe they do because this officiating is crazy. Tell me how you felt about today's game. Let me put the link back in the chat, too. Shout out to you, 78. I see you, Pam, Gibson, Patricia, Cynthia, Eliza. I see all y'all.
All right, now this game, yeah, that second quarter from my eyes, because usually he was there. But when I was seeing, okay, first off, Beauchamp was out of the game because he had illness ruled out already. There was no Beauchamp.
Right.
But X be in there for just a little bit in that game, that was ridiculous. But as soon as he got in there, he had foul right away. Nice. I know a couple people's not gonna be like, "Oh, well, he blame officials," but you said 40 points free throws for the Pacers, right?
Yeah. They were 31 of 38 from the free throw line.
Ridiculous.
That is wild.
That's wild, man. And I didn't like how they was officiating the game and they got chippy quickly
Mm-hmm.
in the quarter. I mean, second quarter, and you got they're trying to like I don't see the Pacers as a rivalry though. I don't see it
If they
because
keep beating you, it's a rivalry, bro. If y'all going back and forth with wins, bro, it's a rivalry. We beat them, they beat us. If we was whooping them like we supposed to, it wouldn't be no rivalry. We need to stop this from being a rivalry. We need to put hands and feet on them every game. We should have came out with purpose to whoop them after that whole ball fiasco. We should have came out here and put hands and feet. We had a 16-point lead and just let it disintegrate. We let the bench come in, they didn't do nothing. Soon as that lead started ticking down, Griffin should have put the starters back in. Who are you to think when the game is not moving right that you just stick to whatever it is you've been doing? The whole point we was mad at Bud is for lack of adjustments. Not paying attention what's going on in the game. Griffin, are you not paying attention? You see the whole house is caving in. And you're not doing nothing. Oh, well, we said that we got to play so-and-so in the first quarter, so-and-so in the second quarter. So, no, what you play is to win the game. That's how you play, to win the game. All this minute management. If they got to play 40 to win, then they need to play 40 minutes. What are we waiting on? This dude is crazy. That's crazy. Dude, and then we got nothing. I love Bobby P. Bobby P was raising a lot of cane out there, but not hitting a lot of shots. Let's keep it real. Bobby was out there raising a lot of cane and not hitting no shots. Bobby is part of the reason that we had that lull that they came back, and he missed like 3 or 4 wide open threes. Like wide open, nobody buying. Our bench did not help us tonight. They didn't help us at all. Officials, second, didn't help us at all.
No.
I mean, that's just what it is. So we got to go in knowing that. So we need to just be more physical, go in and create contact like these other teams are doing, and we'll just have to let the officials figure it out, because that's the only way we're going to get calls. We can't stop driving. We just have to keep doing it. I think Dame got discouraged today from driving because when he did early, he was getting knocked down left and right. They gave him nothing. Nothing. You breathe by Halliburton or the Benedict dude, they getting all types of calls and ones. Like, the officiating is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand, man. It's getting out of hand. Go ahead, Daniel. Then I'm a Chitty tap in. Shout out to you, Chitty. Go ahead, Daniel.
Hey, I'm greeting you, Daniel. Well done.
Well, go on there, man.
Yeah.
What up? What up?
I'm trying not to. I'm really mad about how that game went. Like, they had them in the first half, and then the second half, like you were saying, they seemed like there was this loss. They're not moving the ball around. They look at each other. Where we go, like, dude, pass the ball, and then it was like breakdown plays that was, it scores, but it was like wasn't pure. And I'm like, like I said, you said it's not right. I mean, it's a rivalry, but I just don't see it because the way they officiated the game, it should have been over.
Mm-hmm.
But that bench was not, like you said, that bench was not doing anything. Beasley should not be a starter. He should be come off the bench. I'm just sick and tired of seeing him being a starter because he's not that dude off meaning to start. I don't know.
I'm gonna say this: he started the game off strong. I'm gonna give him that. He started off in that first quarter strong. I'm gonna give him that. He started the first quarter definitely strong. It kind of tapered off after that, but that first quarter was strong. And then, like I said, everything they were doing in the first quarter, they went away from it. They had the pick and roll working. They had all types of different stuff working, and passing, moving the ball movement. Then all of a sudden, they just went away from it, couldn't get it back, and I'm not sure why.
It wasn't like they was pressuring the ball either. It wasn't like going on trying to on Dame and trying to pressure the ball off of them. I don't get what it was doing. I mean, they played a lot of zone.
Yeah,
I mean, they was hell bent not letting y'all get inside this time. They made
but you see, they made in-game adjustment. The other adjustment that they made, that I don't know if y'all peeped it, was when Dame started getting hot. They started throwing a soft double team at Dame to get the ball out of his hand, and that threw his rhythm off that he had early, and we were never able to get that back through the pick and roll. And we should have kept doing the pick and roll, but again, that's coaching. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for that. But go ahead, Chitty. What you got to say, bro? I know you got a lot to say. Go ahead, Chitty.
Yeah. Amara, everything I'm going to say, right? I think the last time we spoke, which was last year,
Mm-hmm.
31st, 30th, our last
Right.
game against House, I pointed out these issues and I said it's going to be a disappointing season if we don't look into these things because these are issues. We're winning games in a way that we're not seeing that these loopholes are going to affect us against great teams. And
Mm-hmm.
Pacers is a very good team.
They
They're a
are.
young team, but they're a very good team.
Agreed.
And one of the things that we have not sorted out yet is the fact that the Bucks culture, the Milwaukee Bucks culture has to change. It has to change because it's not more about trading players. This is about the culture. Now, the Celtics, I heard, because I'm on the CLNS media, I
Mm-hmm.
watch their what they call them, their training programs. The
Mm-hmm.
Celtics train every week, 4 times a week. This is before games. And when they have intense games, they train even more harder during their training sections.
But
I'm surprised
what
that
do you think about today though, Chitty? As far as this game, what where do you see it? We can't worry about the let's worry about the Celtics on the 13th or whatever we play them sometime soon. What did you see tonight that bothers you tonight?
a lot of things I saw tonight that bothered me. First of all, Beasley should not be starting our games as a starting five. Andre Jackson Jr. should be the starting five. That's the first thing. And let me
Let me
explain why.
1 second,
This
Chitty.
is
I'm gonna
not
tap you in too, Mr. Smith. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Chitty. You good? Go ahead, Chitty.
yeah, this is not about making points or scoring threes,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is about how much you let the opponents get into the paint and make points that are also deterring us from blowing out these teams. Not just blowing out these teams, but putting that fear in them that they cannot beat us. This is about it. We lack defense because we have so many point guards kind of players starting our games, and they are slow players. They are slow paced players.
I'll give
We
you
have
that.
Brook Lopez, we have Malik Beasley, and Damian Lillard also. He's not a fast player.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
And then and to top it up again, we have Chris Middleton, who's also a slow player who can dribble in traffic. So we've got issues. It is the truth. We've got issues. The only fast player we have in our starting five is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That's true. I give you
That's
that.
it. That's the only player we have that's fast. And teams have figured this out. Like you have Andre Jackson Jr. who will start and would make up for the slow players that we have.
Give it a
We
little
also
pace.
have
I'll
guys
agree with
like
that. Andre Jackson Jr. would bring
we also
pace.
have guys like
Mm-hmm.
Marjon Bucham. We have guys like Marjon Bucham who in games he's also fast. He could also spread the ball and put the pass across for Giannis to dunk, and he knows how to feed Giannis with these balls. So if we get that out, then we can now talk about Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez, to me, and somebody said it in the chat, is not a defensive minded player. He's not. There's a reason why when he left the Brooklyn Nets, no other team wanted him.
I think we got
Giannis,
Chitty. Hold on 1 second, man. Hold on,
Giannis,
Chitty. I can't
Giannis
say
has
that.
helped.
I can't agree
Nah,
with that.
nah, I'm going to be honest with you, right? You don't have to say it, but we'll
Uh,
say it. Giannis has helped a lot of players retain their spots in the NBA. Players who are not supposed to play in the NBA again. Look at Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe is playing for China, for the Shanghai Sharks in China. The truth is, and Eric Bledsoe is better than Bobby Portis, is better than Brook Lopez, is better than some
Oh,
of the players we have on our
hold
bench,
on,
even Pat Connaughton.
Chitty. Hold on. We're not gonna do all that now, Chitty. That's going a little bit
Nah,
far.
bro,
But
we're actually
okay,
just stating facts.
let me get
Bro,
hold
we're
on,
just we're just
one
stating
second.
facts.
1 second on Chitty. Let me get Mr.
Yeah,
Smith opinion, and
yeah.
then we're gonna get back to you. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. Appreciate you on the
You
chat.
you
Go
you, you
ahead.
probably don't hear from me
Yeah.
yet. I'm just you probably don't want to hear from me yet.
Go ahead. Then we're gonna get back to Chitty and Dale. Go ahead. You gotta give us something. Go
This
ahead.
is a lot of stupid today.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stupid today. A ton of stupid today. This was like a real aggravating game, and I was prepared to get on here and applaud the better ball movement, because in the first quarter there were things that I was seeing that I hadn't seen, different sets that I was seeing that I hadn't seen, and I was saying to myself, all right, well, we had an opportunity to get back home. We had a couple of days off, more blackboard classroom session, and it was showing in the first quarter. As soon as the bench comes on, a lot of stupid from there.
Right.
Our bench was a joke today, and they should be, and it should start right there. The fact that Pat Connaughton played 24 minutes and scored 3 points. But on the flip side, at least he had like mind bending defense, right? That made up for the fact that in fact, Bobby Portis came on and a whole lot of noise or whatever and did absolutely nothing.
He part of the reason we tricked off that lead. He tricked about 3 to 4 wide open threes. We got to hold Bobby accountable like we hold the Dame accountable and everybody else. Portis,
yeah, he was
somebody's said something. I'm starting to pay attention. Does Bobby not play well against good teams?
Yes, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's no show when it comes to like high level.
Question. I just want to
basketball.
People been bringing that up, Chitty. That's why I asked it. I just wanted to know, like in the chat. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. Yes, the Pacers are a good team.
See, because I don't think so. I just think that we're not a smart team. I think the Pacers are a mid team. I think we're not a smart team. Anytime I'm seeing Giannis wave Chris Middleton off, and Chris Middleton has a lane to either create or shoot a three, and Giannis is waving him off to shoot a three that he's, for the people who like are really good at getting the stats like that, what's Giannis's 3-point percentage this year? At what point are we going to start to work?
Giannis is at 36%.
36. You're waving.
Giannis is at 36%.
You're waving Chris Middleton off when Chris Middleton's defender is not even on him at that particular point. He's got a lane to create, and you're waving him off so that you can shoot a three. We're just stupid sometimes, bro. Like, so, I mean, like, a lot of teams are. I think that's what drops us to that level of other teams. Because I don't think that the Pacers played up. I think we played down.
After that first quarter. The first quarter was the real Bucks. That's how we should be playing. Bucks Nation, let's just be clear. That first quarter is exactly the way we should have played all 4 quarters. Everything you wanted to see. Switching was perfect. Defense was perfect. Ball movement. Dame catching, Giannis driving. Everybody cutting to the lane. And then all of a sudden we forgot everything. We got a whole Griffin accountable for some of that. If you saw it working, how do you just not go back to it? How does that happen? Everything was working.
I'm not going to blame Griffin. I'm not going to blame Griffin for today's game. Okay. I will blame the players. I will blame them. And I keep on saying Griffin is a great coach. And if you want to see it, actually, you'd see that if we let Griffin go, you see like 15 other like teams who want a Griffin today. Like even the Lakers want a Griffin currently. So Griffin is a great coach. It's the players and it's the culture. I keep saying it's the players and it's the culture. Let me point out something, right? So Giannis has been like great for the whole season, the start of the season. He has been great. I don't see any game that I'll question him with his greatness. But then you have another top 75 player in Damian Lillard. Please, Damian Lillard is not a rookie where we will be begging him to play a game where he has not won a championship ring before. Like, it's this simple. You're 35. We can't be begging you to play games. We can't be begging you to make your threes. It's impossible.
I think he just...
Like, you're known as a point guard who makes threes. Like, you can't be having the fan base begging you to play well in every game. Like, it's more or less like it's a disgrace to the top 75 players. Nobody can say this about Giannis, and Giannis is the youngest top 75 players ever. Like we all need to just say it as it is. I'm tired, and it's during top games. It's against Pacers that they don't show up. The in-season tournament, the same thing. Them didn't show up against Pacers.
Talking about, I know what you're talking about.
Look at the games that we lost. See, I'll say something, right? I'll say something. Even the game we beat Pacers, we played Pacers 4 times now. The game we beat Pacers, right? Our starting lineup, Beasley wasn't there. We had Andre Jackson Jr. and Majon Bouchard.
Okay, he talking.
And that game we
get them
beat
lights up.
the Pacers
Let's
and
get
we
them
blew them
up.
off.
Yeah.
But then again, Dame has not been the Dame that we've heard, the overhyped. I'm not calling it overhyped. Let me just call it the extremely hyped,
What up, B-Shack? I'm
player
gonna tap you in a minute. Go ahead.
In the Portland Trail Blazers. In the Portland Trail Blazers, the Dame we've heard from the media and the things we've heard about him, he hasn't been that on the Bucks uniform. Let's be honest. He has been inconsistent. And the games where we want him to prove that, yes, your trade was really worth it. There's something about a trade that is being made that, you show off to other teams that, man, I am the man. I like this trade was meant to be, because I'm playing with another great generational talent in Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like, we can't be begging you to make your threes. Like, if you're making your threes, Giannis would not be shooting threes.
1 second.
Yes,
go ahead, Mr. Smith. You was about to say something. Then you, Daniel. Then I'm gonna tap you in, B-Shack. Oh, go ahead.
This next game we have against the Pacers. That's the last game that we have this season against the Pacers.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the schedule. That is.
That's it.
No, it's not. We have the next one.
We're losing the series 3-1. We're losing the series 3-1, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, 3-1. Yeah.
We've lost the season series against the Pacers. We've
Yes.
lost the season series
correct.
against the Pacers. Let that sink in. We've lost the season series against the Pacers.
Exactly.
Does anyone think that this Pacers team can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
No.
Hell
No.
We've lost the season series to a team that can't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. I will say that, but I do think that we have all the tools. We saw what we are in that first quarter. It just we have to play 4 solid quarters. That's really the issue. That's really the issue at this point, is playing 4 solid quarters. That's really what the issue is. Hey, Daniel, let me tap in B-Shack real quick and just hit me back in a minute.
All
right. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me get you. All right, Daniel, tap back in a few minutes. All right, hold on a second. Let me tap you in, B-Shack.
I'm looking at some of the comments. We know already got some people walking out, I guess. Well, good night. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What up, B-Shack? Tell me how you feeling.
Yo, all I gotta say is, Mr. Smith, thank you so much. I had some people try to come at me about Giannis's 3-point shots. They were stupid shots.
At the time, they weren't the best. They weren't
stupid shots.
They weren't at the best time.
We got Beasley, who's hot. We got Brooke. Dame was off tonight.
Right.
You got Middleton. We have high percentage 3-point shooters. We don't need you shooting shots, Giannis. On 3, get your butt down to the post, get in the dunker, set a pick for somebody. Okay? I don't care what his stats were. When you make boneheaded plays at the wrong time of the game, you can cost us the game. So Giannis is not above reproach.
I agree with that.
I'm gonna say this. Shitty said something I agree with. Let that be noted.
Okay, I got you.
That the Bucks are a slow team. The Pacers beat us with speed. They beat us with speed. They beat us down the court time.
Yep, that's a fact.
Again.
Yep.
Their guards penetrated. Yo, Dame, did you see the last scoring play by point guard? Forgot his name real quick. Dame was caught in quicksand. Amara, you may have already been. You may have
looking
already
over
left
to somebody else, right? looking over to
Huh?
somebody else.
Yeah, I think I already
Yeah.
left.
Was talking to somebody
That
else.
was
The dude was sitting right.
embarrassing.
Oh my god.
That was embarrassing. That was
Let me get up the super chat. Hold on.
that was straight up embarrassing.
One
But
second, y'all. Let me just get this. No strays. ENT. Appreciate the 199 super chat. Salute, bro. As of today, the Pacers have the Bucks number. I can't say that they don't at this point. They done beat us 3 times. I mean, that's a valid
They've
point.
won the season series.
Yeah.
I
They've
gotta
won the
I gotta
season
get
series.
verification. I gotta get verification on something though. I gotta get verification. Did somebody say that? Maybe my ears are stopped up because I just flew in from Houston not too long ago.
Okay.
Maybe my ears are still stopped up. Did someone say Adrian Griffin was a great coach?
That was my man,
Did
Chitty.
somebody say
Chitty was on
Adrian?
that. Yeah.
Where is the evidence that
Bishop,
Adrian Griffin is a great coach?
All right, here we
Where
go.
is the evidence?
Bishop, respectfully, this is the first time myself and you were in the same space. I
True.
always, when I talk, you come in and you challenge me. I'm like, oh my God, I want to be on that same space with Bishop so that
That's why
we
I'm
can
going.
settle this thing, macho man to
All
man,
right, all right.
So, Bishop,
I need some
I see
evidence.
one thing. Bishop, I'm going to give you some evidence, real evidence, right? This season alone, our offense has greatly improved. And this is not just a coach who says play randomly, right? This is something that we've not had such a number like this in our offensive rating before. We beat teams, we blow out teams by 130 plus in games. Now, this is the effect of a great coach coming in, right? And giving us some creative strategies in the offense department. But then again, if you look into what we've been talking about in the defensive side of things, it has been players not being greatly in the program or committed to the program of Griffin from the defensive side. They embrace the offensive side of things, but they've not really embraced the defensive side. And that's the lack we have. There are little glimpses of what our defense could look like if the players truly are on board with the program, with the defensive program of Griffin. It shows in some quarters, most times the fourth quarters, we see something like that. And the problem is, why can't we be consistent from the first quarter down to the fourth quarter? Why do we have to wait to the end of the game before we wake up? This is not a coaching problem again. This is now a player thing. It's the players that play the game. The coach will tell you this is the format, this is what you need to do. Whether you create a 3-2 zone or whether you go man to man, but then when he says go man to man and you can't keep your man in front of you, he always beats you. It's
One
no more
second,
a
Chitty. Let me
coaching
get this super
problem.
chat. 1 second. Salute to you, Daniel Carter. Appreciate the 199 super chat. Do y'all sometimes think Giannis has bad habits? He does have some bad habits. Yeah, he definitely has some bad habits. Absolutely.
But for me, so that I
Yeah,
can
but I want to say this, right, Mr. Smith. Sorry, I want to say this about the Giannis bad habits. I will tell you that Giannis good habits overshadows his bad habits. I don't.
Understood.
I would.
Understood.
of
Yeah.
course, there doesn't need to
And the
be.
truth is, if we don't have a Giannis in Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis is the only thing going on for us in Milwaukee Bucks. If we don't have Giannis, I'm telling you, we will be worse than
That's not what. But
the
that's not
Detroit
what we're
Pistons.
saying.
Yeah,
But
but see, but
We'll be worse than
that's
the
not what
Detroit
we're.
Pistons.
Chitty,
no.
that's
See,
not what we're
I
saying. We're
gotta
not
push back on.
saying we want him gone. We're saying he has some bad habits. Like sometimes
Yeah,
at the top of the key, he has his head down, and when he's driving, he should be looking to kick instead of
We
waiting
love
till the
Giannis
last
too,
second.
man, but
Yeah,
you
there's
gotta
things he
be honest.
does.
You gotta be honest. We love
Yeah,
Giannis too, but
right,
you got a blind spot. You can't. You're not looking at him objectively. You gotta look
right.
at him objectively.
I agree.
right. And for me, what I was
But
saying,
you
but
know what? But you know
hold on
what,
for a
Bishop?
second, Chitty, hold on for a
Hold
Oh,
on,
second.
all
hold
right,
on,
all
hold on,
right,
hold on. Hold on.
all
What I
right.
was saying was, to push him back on that, right? If it has to be qualified every single time that we're in the chat that we think Giannis is the greatest Milwaukee Buck fan ever, I think that's a waste of time, right? He is unarguably the best player that they have. You shouldn't have to keep
No doubt.
saying that,
Right.
right? No one is above reproach, though. If we're looking at today, in the hierarchy, in my opinion, he is not the first. He's not even close to the number one problem. The number one problem is that our bench was a joke against their
Correct.
bench. We
That was the
couldn't
biggest problem.
figure out T.J. McConnell
He
to save
outscored
our
our whole bench pretty much. T.J. McConnell outscored our whole bench single-handedly. He
right to
outscored our
save our
dude. Come on, man.
right. Bobby Portis was a whole lot of hype energy, but it didn't show up in plays that we actually needed it. Pat Connaughton played for 24 minutes, but really though, like that's what I mean. Like if they were all of those reasons that come well before Giannis, however, Giannis being the number one player on the team, does it mean that he's above reproach and his mistakes are going to be highlighted, however few they may be, because he's at the top of the totem pole. And I'll see like sometimes in these comments, like you got to keep saying that, because if somebody says the slightest little thing about Giannis or anything that he's doing wrong, I'm
Yeah, we
leaving
gotta
chat.
be fair here. Yeah,
That's
I agree with
ridiculous.
that. It gotta be fair. It gotta be fair.
Yeah,
That's
Definitely.
ridiculous.
yeah. This is my
It
reason.
is.
Yeah, this is my reason, Mr. Smith. This is my reason why I don't agree about what we say about Yanis, and this is my reason why. We don't hold other players or that's Yanis teammates. We don't hold them accountable like we do to Yanis, and it's
What?
unfair.
What? That's not true. That's not.
Yes,
What?
What? We
I'm
hold
being
Dame
honest.
accountable.
The
We
Milwaukee Bucks
What?
fans,
I 1000%.
bro, I'll be honest. I'll be honest, right? If you go to Bucks Twitter, people would clamp down on Yanis like he's a role player. And then you
That's
ask some
Twitter
Bucks
though.
fans like, oh, do you know,
But that's Twitter though. We're
bro?
not. But we're talking about right here. We give everybody
No.
the heat. If Connaughton play bad, we talk about Connaughton. Dame played trash tonight. We've been talking about Dame playing trash. That's what we're saying. Nobody is above being talked about when they play
Nah.
wrong. That's what we're saying. If Giannis had
Ama-
4 turnovers
Amara,
and took some bad threes, we have to
Amara,
say that happened. You
Nah.
want us to wipe it under the rug, and that's not gonna happen with
A-
nobody. Everybody gets it, bro. Everybody.
Amara, let me tell you something, right? Let me tell you something. Role players give us mid game. We celebrate them so much. In fact, we celebrate them and we lose out even how great Yanis was. And without those fantastic plays from Yanis, we wouldn't win those games, even with those
But
weak
but
plays,
that's not
or
the
even
point
those low
though,
plays
Chitty. The
of those
point
role
is
players.
the point is Giannis is not
Crazy.
perfect. That's all we're saying.
That's
Giannis, if
crazy.
he does
No,
something wrong, the,
nobody said Yanis is perfect. I'm
but
not
but
saying
but
Yanis is
but you're
perfect.
saying that we
But what
can't
I'm
say
trying to say is
anything.
that,
But you're saying that we can't say anything negative about Giannis. If we
So,
say
so
everything, that's
bro,
the problem.
we have so many problems. Bro, we have so many problems with the role players in Milwaukee Bucks that Yanis little mistakes on the Bucks team is
Nah.
inconsequential to the real problems we have.
Yeah.
so let me ask
There's
you a
still
The
question. Let me ask
real
you a
problems
problems
question.
we
though.
have with the
Let me
Milwaukee
But
ask
there
you
Bucks
a
with
are
the
question.
still
role players,
problems though,
they
Chitty.
have huge
Let me ask you a
problems.
question.
Okay,
We
go
don't
ahead.
think
Yes,
we
please.
don't think the Lakers fan base talks about LeBron. We
Right.
don't think Dallas doesn't talk about Luca. You don't think the other fan bases don't get on their top player when it's deserved?
Yep. I
They
agree with
do.
That's
that.
that's not. You're not even being
But
objective. It's being biased.
Bishop, I'll be honest. The way the Bucks fans go on Giannis or clamps on Giannis and his mistakes, no other team in the NBA does that to their star players, their superstar players.
That's not
I'm being
true.
honest. I'm being
But
fair.
we
LeBron is the
get
most
LeBron just got
God,
LeBron
the
you
look.
need
LeBron
to
is
be
the
on
LeBron
most
just
Twitter.
got it
criticized.
You need to
yesterday.
be on
You haven't
Twitter.
given LeBron
Man, I'm
credit
You,
on
that he
Twitter.
bro,
I'm
you
on
need to
every
be on
social media.
Twitter.
They just went on a LeBron for the Lakers losing yesterday, and he was part of the reason they got to even
They
in
always on
striking
LeBron.
distance. And they bombed on him. No, sir. Nobody's a pro getting bombed
Yeah.
on if they
I,
don't do right. You can't just
I
say,
don't
I,
I don't have a problem.
okay.
Amara, I don't have a problem with anybody. I don't have a problem with anybody calling out Yannis' mistakes. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is when we make Yannis little errors, right, become like the sole reason why we lost games. Like that's how our
But
complaints
nobody
about
said that.
Yannis
But
mistakes
nobody
happen.
said that. Nobody said that. We are just saying things that we noticed that he did wrong. We've already said the bench played terrible. The bench got less than 20 points today. The bench was pretty much outscored by TJ McConnell. What we're saying is that Giannis did do some things wrong. Everybody did, but we're gonna talk about his stuff he did wrong like we did everybody else. Everybody's gonna get their 5 minutes to shine for what they did wrong. So we can discuss it, see what needs to change for us to be better moving forward. Some of that is,
Okay,
is,
Amara,
is, is
Amara,
ball
I want to,
movement and being stagnant. They were moving the ball in the
Amara,
first quarter. Everything was working in the first quarter, right? Ball movement. Everything was good. Then all of a sudden we went to the isolated where it's just one-on-one, get out the way, no ball movement, nobody cutting to the hoop. That happened. I can't say that I watched it happen live in 8K. So there's no way to. So there are things that everyone does wrong and they need to be called out. Period. If Giannis missed a ton of free throws, we're going to talk about it. We're going to appreciate everything he does. When he does well, we say he does well. When the bench players do well, we don't give them too much props, but we give them props for playing well. If Campaign has a great game like he did the other day, he had 18 points. He should be called out and given his flowers. He had a great game off the bench. When they don't, we talk about it. Everybody get it, bro. Everybody. And to say that Giannis should be
Amara,
talked about is wild, bro. That's wild.
Amara,
So
Amara, you're just mentioning campaign. You're just mentioning campaign for the very first time, right? You're just mentioning
Incorrect.
campaign for the very first time on this live
Incorrect, because I
today.
said it.
I mean, for today's game.
Incorrect, because
Oh,
I
you
said
said
it.
you said
Yeah.
about
I
campaign.
said it.
All I hear every time is the bench didn't give us anything. But who is the bench truly? What are the names of the players? What were their
Oh,
mistakes?
I
Go,
answered
go,
Right
that.
go.
now,
Hold on, hold
now
on, hold on, hold
when
on,
we,
hold on,
when
hold
we
on one
call these
second.
things out,
Okay, hold on one second,
yeah,
Chief. Go ahead, Mr. Smith, because this
yeah.
is wild. Go
Can I
ahead,
answer
Mr.
this? Because I
Yeah,
definitely said that
right.
earlier. So this is now like, at this point, I feel like it's selective hearing, with all due respect.
Mm-hmm.
Because I definitely talked about campaign. I definitely talked about the fact that Pat Connaughton only played for 24 minutes.
And
And it
Portis,
was
and
like
we talked
I
every
heard
about
about
other
Portis.
play.
I
I
heard about
definitely
Pat
talked about
Connaughton.
Bobby Portis. I definitely talked about Bobby Portis being all
I
high
heard about
energy
Bobby Portis.
and
That's a
and and so on and so forth. Once we started mentioning Giannis, then you got caught on Giannis, and the conversation has been about him the entire time.
right. And
Had
we
you just
trying
let
to, and that's the thing.
me
Thank
forward,
you. Thank
we
you.
would have gotten forward. No one was hanging on Giannis until you felt the
Let's
need to
get
come
them
and
likes
defend
up.
him.
Y'all hear Cynthia? Let's get
Even
them likes
after
up.
we said Giannis is not the sole reason, he's not the number one reason, he's
Right.
not the major reason, he's not the top reason, he's not even the top
Top
5
five
reason
reason, yeah.
today. He was the best player on the court today. He's the
Period.
best player on the court. And I said that. And you could go back and rewind that, because I said that in this chat. What we're saying is that no one is above reproach. That's all we're saying. The whole conversation got sidetracked to Giannis because of the need to come defend him when he does not need defending. When everyone acknowledges he's the best player on the court every single time we play. You were spot on about Damian Lillard. We could have been talking about that because Damian Lillard was ass cheeks tonight,
I agree. Agreed.
right? And we could have been talking about that, but it was this constant need to come run into his defense. It's not just you. You got people who walked out the chat because the minute you say anything about Giannis, it's like, oh, my hackles came up or whatever. Can't nobody even say anything about it. That's a blind spot. That's a blind spot in the fan. I can't tell you how to fan. A lot of people fan the same way, but it's the same thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis was the best player on the court today. The man scored a triple double. If you want to get into it, I feel like Giannis was averaging 1,000 points against the Pacers. Props to the Pacers for making the adjustments that they needed to make sure that he didn't score 60 points on them. So he said, I'm just going to get a triple-double on them. He was the best player on the court. Didn't mean that he didn't make goofball decisions. You waving Chris Middleton off and he doesn't have a defender, that's a goofball decision. That wasn't the entirety of the game. When we mentioned that, it was an example of the collective mistakes that the entire team was making,
That's
not
a
Giannis.
and Mr. Smith, it's obvious that Rick Carlisle, don't forget, he's a championship coach. He's a
facts.
great coach.
Facts.
And he made an intentional adjustment in, I mean, he brought the wall back tonight. And
Correct.
Giannis had to move the ball. I think Giannis played a really good game as far as, from this standpoint, he recognized how they were playing
And adjusted.
most part, he adjusted. He had a couple of brain parts,
Right.
but overall,
He played
he
well.
played a Dame
One second,
Lillard.
B Shack. 1 second. Just want to get the super chat. 1 second, B Shack. Appreciate you. No strays. ENT. Appreciate you, bro. 499 super chat. Boston hasn't lost a home game yet. If Celtics get home court for the playoffs, Bucks are cooked. No pressure, but these games matter. That's a good point. Go ahead, B Shack. Good point. No strays.
Now Dame Lillard. Now let's be a little uh granular here with this introspection. He didn't play. He had a terrible shooting game, but you also got to really look at the. He wasn't getting the calls going to the hoop, and a lot of times, if a player strategically, like Dame's like a computer. He sees what defense gives them, and he goes for it. When the referees don't cooperate, that kind of throws everything off, and it just spiraled down for Dame. And then he actually, which I've never seen this before, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, it almost looked like in the fourth quarter he lost his confidence
Yeah.
because
He
he didn't
did,
want the ball
yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
that before. I've never seen that with Dame before. So it's a bad game, but it's a different game for him if those referees give him those calls.
I agree with that. That's what I was saying. He wouldn't get no calls. I said it during the game in the chat. He was taking it to the rack in the first 2 quarters. Nothing was happening. He falling all over the ground. So I just think he just took this as an L tonight. Like, they ain't gonna give me nothing. I can't hit nothing. Let me just stay out the way. It almost felt like that. I agree with you,
Man,
B Shaq.
man, Amara, I'm going to say this right.
Mm-hmm.
That championship is not going to be given to them because them is 35 plus and he needs a championship ring.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be given to you
I
that way.
agree.
Whether the refs call fouls or not, you have to evolve in your game and find a way to actually get shots in. Whether you're going to be shooting your mid range or you're going to be shooting the three, but let it be entering into that basket. Like it's that simple. Like it's like you're saying it's Steph Curry, for instance. If he doesn't get his 3 point shots in there, he wouldn't find better ways to win games or influence the games that the ball has
That's
to
not
enter into
always
the
true. No, no,
basket.
no, 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 no. That's not true. That's not true. That's
But
not
weakness
true.
in the game. He has
Come
no weakness
on, come on,
in
Amara. We know Amara. See. Let's be honest here. We're talking about Damian Lillard right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damian has been very inconsistent on the Bucks uniform. That's Bucks organization. The games we've watched from
One
them
second, Chitty. Let me just
coming
get the
to
super
team up
chat.
with the
One second,
national
Chitty.
player.
1 second, Chitty. Hold on. Let me get this super chat. Daniel Carter said, "Hot take: we won't win again with Lopez started." Why? Why Lopez? What Lopez do that he shouldn't be started? Elaborate on that, Daniel. Go ahead, Chitty.
Yeah. The honest truth is, Dame needs to
Step
improve
up. I
on
agree.
his game. He
I
has to
agree.
improve on his, and he has to find more better and creative ways to get the ball into the basket. If your 3 points aren't falling in, like wait, when Dame was playing in Portland Trail Blazers, was he always shooting 3 points? Was he not finding other better ways to make the balls to get into the basket?
Agreed.
Why is he always staying? Why is he staying in the sideline when Yanis, like, you have Yanis, team up with Yanis, explore Yanis more and ensure that Yanis is more of a threat so that when you're even driving in, you have open space to lay the ball in. The truth is, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't understand why the first 10 games, our sample size games with Dame, when Yanis is driving into the basket, they will stay by the side. As the point
well,
guard, like,
1 second, Chitty.
look at
Go.
Tyrese Haliburton.
Okay. Hold on one
When
second.
we,
Go ahead, B Shaq. Go ahead, B Shaq.
actually, actually, tonight was one of the better games that Dame and Giannis actually played together when it comes to the pick and roll. If,
Mm-hmm.
if you watch the whole game, they had some synergy going for quite a while. Um, and I think they're working together pretty good. As far as Dame is concerned, Dame on the offensive level, there is really no weakness in his game. He can go to the hoop,
Mm-hmm.
he can split up for the mid range, He can shoot the three. He can play pick and roll. He can play isolation. I don't think it's an issue with Dame having to evolve his game. He's one of the greatest offensive weapons at the point guard position the game has
Ever.
ever seen. So I don't think that's the issue. I think it's more of an issue tonight of an off game.
I agree with that. I
I
think he
think
just had
one
an
of
off.
the questions.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Mr. Smith.
Bishop, I respectfully disagree with that because if it's one game, if it's a one game stinker, it's allowed. But we've had like 3 game stinkers from Dame now, or 3 to 4 game
Mm-hmm.
stinkers, and then it's no more. It's no more something like, oh, okay, today's game is allowed, maybe fatigue or something. Nah, like this is reoccurrence. Like we've seen Dame, and people are like, Dame, will you show up tonight? Will you make your threes tonight? Would you score more points? Like would you really act as a top 75 player?
Who's the second leading scorer
Like
in
just
the league?
imagine if Giannis was traded to another team, and you have to be begging Giannis to be the Giannis that you know in Milwaukee Bucks.
Who's the second leading
Like
So
scorer
that's
one
in
of the
that's how it is currently now.
Oh, 1 second,
hold on, let me,
y'all. 1 second.
real quick.
Dre West, appreciate the super chat, bro. 199. Is Indiana a bad matchup for us? They shouldn't be, but it looks like they are. But it shouldn't be. I think when the playoff time comes, we'll be straight. But as of right now, if you're looking at 3-1, they done beat us. So yes, they are a matchup issue. Shout out to you, Dre
Right.
West. Appreciate the 199. Hey, let's get them likes up, y'all. It's almost 100 of y'all in here. Let's get the likes up. Come on, y'all. It ain't coming out y'all
That was
paycheck. You see all this passion for the Milwaukee Bucks and Bucks Nation in here. Let's get the likes up, y'all. Salute to the Bucks Nation. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
So I was saying that was a question that someone had asked me. That I was looking at some of the chat. Someone had
Mm-hmm.
asked me specifically for my input on that. Do I think that the Pacers are a bad matchup? I don't think our starters are. I think our starters match up with them fairly
Mm-hmm.
well. I really like when I saw Giannis out there defending Tyrese Halliburton. I think when he
Halliburton
was
didn't
on
want
them,
none
I
of that.
felt
He did.
like,
He was trying to get to
yeah,
the pick
right.
as fast as possible when Giannis got on it. I agree with that.
Yeah, and I think we were on to something. But their counterpunch was, okay, well, the Pacers now have to be thinking that they're on to something when our guys go to the bench, especially with the way that we have our rotations. There were times when I saw uh, Chris, Dame, and Giannis. Like, I feel like two of them should be on the court at all
All time
times. It's getting to
facts.
that. It's
Facts.
getting to that. Now, maybe if we had a bench who showed up better, then I wouldn't feel like that. But until I see better play from them, until Campaign can come in this particular matchup and be, because he's absolutely getting dogged out. If
Yep.
it's point guard for point guard, he is absolutely getting his issue with TJ McConnell. It's not even close, right? Uh, Pat Connaughton, nothing else need be said. 24 minutes, 6 points.
Yep.
Nothing
He
else
Nothing.
got
need be
to
said.
go.
If you're going to do that, you have to match up defensively to fix it up, right? It may be a situation where our bench is it's scary hours if we don't have two of the big three on the court at all times. If we go down to one player, because every time I saw that, whatever lead that we had evaporated in seconds. That's problematic.
It is,
Now,
and then it will come and stabilize once the starters come back in. Then the bench give it right back up. So I'm in complete agreement with that. What you think, B Shaq? That the two of the big three should be on it all time.
I think I think that I think that's a, a a requirement. I think you have. I don't think we have a choice because the bench is so weak. Now, when my man comes back off of
Crowder,
injury,
Crowder.
Crowder, I'm really curious to see how he's going to help and what those rotations are going to start looking like. Because I really think that Beasley needs to come off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I think get some of that scoring coming off the bench. You've got enough shooting in the starting lineup. You don't need to be there, but I do think you need what uh what Jay Crowder brings to the table.
Correct.
But it still doesn't solve our lack of speed because Crowder isn't a speedy player either.
He's a high
And
IQ player. Yep.
yeah, They mentioned in the chat. I mean, the Knicks and the Raptors. I mean, uh, quickly and a new
OG
how you
and
pronounce it?
Unobi. OG and
Yeah.
Unobi.
I mean, I would have taken either one of those guys on the Bucks. And I'm saying, hey, we need to get active, man. Some people think we have enough. I don't think we have enough. I don't think we could go the distance with this lack of bench scoring. And I do not understand for the life of me. I wish someone would please explain to me, like I'm a third grader, why is Pat getting so many minutes? I don't understand. I don't see the reason for it. Mr. Smith, can you help me out? Because I
Before
don't.
you go, Mr. Smith, I just want y'all to see this comment. BSGK9, appreciate you tapping in, bro. Giannis shouldn't get no blame, although him running the ball up is not helping Dame learn how to lead the offense. Dame playing like he don't got no feel for how the floor look. I kind of get what he's saying with that a little bit. Shout out to you,
As
BSG, bro. Shout out to you. I get what you're saying on that one. That's interesting
as
comment, though.
Exactly. Exactly, Amara. No superstar plays the way Giannis plays today in the NBA for teams. And for us giving him such blames, I feel it's like we are not really being realistic, because I can tell you, I watch other teams like the Suns, and like Kevin Durant will not do what Giannis is doing for the Milwaukee Bucks, and we still keep on blaming him. Like we've got like serious, real serious. And maybe this is the reason why I get maybe, because I'll still say it. If any superstar does the kind of things Giannis does for Milwaukee Bucks, right? I'm going to be honest with you that we would have a more competitive sports NBA sports game, very competitive one. There are games where you will see the superstars, they are really no show. For instance, the Celtics, Jason Tatum don't show up in
Well,
at
yeah,
least
but
up
we're
to
not
like
saying, but
35% of their games,
we're not talking about showing
but
up.
they
We're
win
not.
games.
Yeah, but we're not talking about any of that. We're just saying things that could be improved to smooth out. Like you're making it seem like he's infallible. All we're saying, hey, maybe bring it up, getting Dame more involved early. We're just saying different things that might help the offense or when we're having lulls. We're not attacking Giannis at all. He had a triple double today, things like that. We're just saying what else could be done to get other players more involved to make the load lighter on him. For instance, a player like Dame needs to get touches. He's used to being the primary ball handler. Now he's sometimes the second or third ball handler. So that's still a lot for him to grasp. He's used to being the guy when they take it out, he gets the ball all the time. That's not really the case currently. He has a lot of adjusting to do. When you're touching the ball all the time, it allows you to get in what we call a rhythm. If you're not touching the ball a lot, you can't get into a rhythm. You're just getting random shots, and that's not what he's been playing for the last 10 years. I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you what I see visually. He's used to pick and roll. He's used to having the ball. So now he's adjusting. And some people might call it passive. I'll just say it's picking his spots until he can figure out how he can do what he does. And even with all that being said, Dame is still averaging 25 points a game. When is the last time two Bucks players have averaged over 25 points a game? We got to look at the whole totality of everything. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Dame had a bad night. Yes, Giannis could have did some things better, but those aren't our main issues. I'm just saying that. But the way that people are coming, whenever we mention anything like remotely, any type of criticism, we gotta be cognizant that nobody is
And
perfect. Go ahead, B Shaq.
Mr. Cool just made a comment. He said Griffin coaches by relying on his star players to carry the team. A good coach knows how to adjust.
I think that's a good point.
And this is why I'm saying the Griffin the comment about Griffin being a great coach, it doesn't compute with me because if Griffin's a great coach, what does that make Coach Pop? What does that make Coach
Spolstra.
Spoelstra? I mean, what are they like? Super duper 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 coaches? I mean, you cannot be a great coach in your first year, never ever ever coaching leading a team before. It takes time. It takes time. I'm not saying you can't be a great coach,
Hmm.
but when you say things like that, it doesn't reflect well on you because everybody knows you can't call him a great coach yet. You just can't. He may be, but
Mm-hmm.
he's not yet, because you have great coaches in the league that have earned that title over time. But he's not coaching. He's letting them coach. They're always talking about they got to figure it out. They're talking about what plays to run. And I'm just not sure, when you come up against really good coaches in the playoffs, I don't know if that's sustainable.
Well, Bishop,
Here's how.
Bishop, this is what I think I
Hold on
wanted
a second.
to state, right?
Okay, well, one second.
Hold on,
Hold on,
Griffin
Chitty,
has the
Chitty,
potential.
Chitty, Chitty. 1 second. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. Go ahead.
my man, Chitty.
Uh,
Right. I would say to that, one of the things that I would like to acknowledge is the incremental adjustments that I do see happening from the start of the season up until now. Right.
mm-hmm.
So I think the first quarter was a good example of some of the things that you weren't seeing at the beginning of the season, right? We saw different types of pick and rolls. I do personally like the fact that they're not spamming the Dame and Giannis pick and roll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because teams are smart enough to say, well, if all you guys are going to do it, or if all you guys are going to do is that, then we're just going to sit on that and completely defend that, right? Not only that, but at this point, physically, Brook is still our best pick option
Right.
for Dame, right? So what we've seen is a variety of different types, and tonight I saw two other variations of that pick and roll, right? And so it's coming along, right? There are things that are changing over time, but it is still a lot. Like it was a lot on his plate. When Mr. Cool was actually a live guest, we had talked about that, right? That I don't think that gets acknowledged, is how difficult this is. This dude has no cachet at this particular point. He hasn't started,
Mm-hmm.
well, he wasn't the head coach anywhere, and he's now having to coach two top 75 players, a dude who's a perennial all-star, a team that's essentially still has its core together, and a team that won a championship, right? So it's going to be very difficult. I don't think that he was put in the best position, but he put himself up for that. He
Right.
asked for the job, he got it, and I do think overall, I don't want it to be like always overwhelmingly negative when we're still like the third best team in the league. I think for the most part he's doing a good job, but there are definitely things that need to change. And that's all we say when we point out, and well, that's how I feel about it anyway. Anytime we point out these things, it's not an indictment as in we're done,
Right.
fire this guy,
Right.
or this player absolutely has no value. It's just at this particular point, this person didn't have a good game, right? I am not of the mind that the Damian Lillard was a bad trade, but tonight he had a bad game. And I think one of the reasons that he had a bad game, and I think it was like electric analysis that Amra just made, is that he is used to occupying a certain position on his team, right? That helps to get into a certain rhythm. So if he's not having a good game, he's always, good or bad, when he was in Portland, going to be the number one option on his team. So he can get himself back into a rhythm, even if he's not having a good game. That doesn't exist here in Milwaukee. I don't know about you guys, but in the fourth quarter, I'm sitting there yelling at the TV, give the ball to your closer.
Right.
That's what you brought him over here for.
Facts.
Give the ball to your closer. And we weren't getting him the ball. Right? So there's like a collective issue where that is concerned. Like what definitive roles do we have for guys on this team? And basketball is a fluid sport, so it's not always going to be get the ball to Dame, everybody get out the way, right? There are going to
Mm-hmm.
be times when other people are going to be involved. Chris is a closer, so on and so forth. But there have to be, I think, more clear options to give people more confidence in certain situations. Because I don't even think that
I agree
Dame
with that,
was
Pam.
remotely looked at, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Dame was remotely looked at in the fourth quarter the way he should. And that could be because he was having an ass game
Mm-hmm.
and they just went away from him. But I've seen times when he's had an ass game and come back, and that would be his redeeming quality, is what he's done in that fourth quarter. So I
Well,
just think we need more lab time.
I
I
could
think
be
we need
wrong.
more lab time.
I could be wrong, but I've been watching basketball since 1980, and I always thought it was a coach's role to help define roles on the team. And in the fourth quarter, a coach, Dame's running the offense, or Giannis running the offense. It's the coach that should give some direction. I'm a total agreement with Mr. Smith. But I want to add to that. The coach just shouldn't just stand by as an innocent bystander and say, you guys got to figure out, you know, who's running the team or who's going to close or who's going to. The coach has to have some sort of input or get the job to somebody else who's willing to take control. He's a passive. You can't be passive aggressive. I understand being a player's coach, but you have to, your imprint has to be on the game somehow.
I think the point I was going to add before, I'm thank you for bringing that back around. Like my theory on this is that anytime you're about to make a big major decision as far as personnel is concerned, if we're revisiting the conversation about trades and whatnot, you need enough of a sample size to provide evidence that this is not working anymore, right? So, my a theory that I have is that certain guys are going to get run until we absolutely have unequivocal evidence that this can't work at all. We've given it every option that we could. We've exhausted all the possibilities of this person working for this team. There's no excuse. We gave this person X amount of minutes. It's not working. Now we can trade this person. Not saying that this person has no value, but this person within this system with these players is absolutely not working. I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm just saying a certain someone played for 24 minutes and was absolutely useless tonight. So at what point do you say, okay, maybe this is not working anymore, right? Because this same person last year was under a different coach and was completely tanking towards the end of the season and needed a game 2 in the playoffs just to make himself available for this year. Otherwise, they should have cut him last year,
Shout out to
right?
PC.
We need unequivocal evidence to show that these guys absolutely cannot work within this system. We need unequivocal evidence running certain systems and showing the glaring holes, right? At the end of the game, our biggest problem, for me, in my opinion, you guys in the chat and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, we couldn't stop anything.
Correct.
We couldn't stop anything. They just did what they wanted, right? And so, yeah, they're a good team. They're still the number one offensive team in the league, right? So stopping them is going to be difficult regardless. But we absolutely could not stop them. When Damian Lillard is looking to the sideline to communicate with someone and Tyrese Halliburton is just running right by him, that is a glaring problem. The problem is not scoring. You don't feel, in my opinion, a defensive problem by adding more scoring and saying that we're just going to outshoot the problem.
No, we need to
Because
get
eventually,
defense. Yeah, we need to get, and we
you know
also
what I'm
need to
saying?
figure out too. Pam and somebody else made a point. It seems like we take a dip offensively too whenever Giannis is off the court. We look discombobulated. We look like we don't have an identity when he's not on the court, and I think a lot of that is due to we don't really have an offensive identity or strategy, and I think it really shows up when Giannis is not on the floor. I don't. If that's not coaching, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
Actually, Amara,
Mm-hmm.
let me state something, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we always have a collapse when Giannis is not on the floor is because players do not commit to games. So they come into games and they believe and expect Giannis will do it for them while they sit back and collect salaries. So it shows when Giannis goes to the bench that these players didn't prepare for these games to come and win.
Chitty, come on,
They're
man. You
all
can't, you
riding.
can't, you can't say that, Chitty. What I'm telling you, I didn't play basketball at college or nothing like that. I could, I didn't. A whole nother story. But what I'm telling you is that when you have plays that you run, right, pet plays to get people open to get certain shots, that's what the team goes to when the star player is out of the game to keep the offense fluid and moving. When Giannis is out of the game, there's no ball movement. There is confusion, Chitty. I'm watching. They are confused. They're going one-on-one and ISO. There is no real pick and roll. There's no real ball movement. It's either give the ball to Dame, get out the way, or Middleton. There are no plays being run, Chitty. If you cannot tell me a
Amara,
play is being run, he is not coaching there, bro. He is not coaching if you don't see what plays do you see being run, Chitty, by the Milwaukee Bucks besides
Amara,
the pick and roll.
Amara, today's game, sample size of today. I just like speaking facts.
Mm-hmm.
Sample size of today's game.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Portis had opportunities
Mm-hmm.
to give us some leads
Mm-hmm.
in the second quarter, before the even third quarter, actually before the end of the third quarter, right? We were leading by 12, 10 points. And what happened? He missed 3 different opportunities back to back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Is this coaching fault? You are open. Put the basket inside. Put the ball inside the basket.
I understand. No, that's a
It's
fair
nothing.
point. We brought that up.
That's not a play thing.
But that's
That's not
just
a play thing.
today. But
That
I'm just
that's
saying, if you take that out, right? He missed them threes. I'm asking you to tell me: are you seeing plays
yes.
being?
Hey,
Amara,
I'm
I've seen plays.
oh,
Amara, I've seen plays being run. I've seen plays being run by what's the name, by Chris Middleton,
Uh-huh.
to the likes of Pat Connaughton and Bobby Portis. The only difference is that these guys don't finish. They do not finish. That's the problem. There's no other problem that they have, but that lackadaisical behavior of not finishing cost us a
Okay.
lot of games.
All right.
Exactly. It's not because we don't run plays. It's that these guys don't finish. You would see somebody go for a layup and the ball don't even touch the rim. And it's a rebound for our opponent. It's not the coach fault.
Okay. Before
The
I'm gonna
plays are
get
being run.
it, Chitty. I'm gonna let you finish your statement, then you, Mr. Smith, and then I'm gonna let y'all go so I can get to this comment section before we get out of here because it's already getting kind of late. So just let's wrap it up real quick, Chitty. Then I'm gonna get to you, Mr. Smith. Then I'm gonna get to y'all in the comment section. Go ahead, Chitty.
My final thoughts and comments is that the box culture needs to change, because I think that if we still trade in for new players, we will still face similar issues.
Oh,
And so, what do I mean by the culture? Yeah. I don't think this is coaching. I still don't think this is coaching.
wow.
I
We
do
gonna
not.
beg to disagree.
In my
Okay,
mind of
Chitty.
mine, I don't think. Yeah.
I gotta get to the comment section, man. We gonna finish this on the next live. Go ahead, Mr. Smith. We
All
gonna
right.
pay attention. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
for me, I'd like to. I was reading an article and I'll leave it with a question. Um, there was an article that was proposing a potential trade,
Mm-hmm.
always with the trades, right? A potential trade for Andrew Wiggins. How do you feel about that?
I
Because
think
I honestly,
I
his
think
dimensions would be fantastic. He's not playing well this year in Golden State system. So I mean,
right.
I think that needs to be identified right from the top. But I do remember when Andrew Wiggins got traded to Golden State. The previous team, he wasn't playing well either.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Golden State. It was like a breath of fresh air, and Golden State looked invincible again for different reasons because their defense was so well, right? Between Gary Payton Jr. and Andrew Wiggins, and you had all the scoring you needed.
Nobody
It
is
was a
blaming
balance.
Giannis. The truth. We're just saying things that could have improved. No one is blaming Giannis for anything. Carry on, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, so it was just it was an interesting thought. It was an interesting thought. But to all the people who had annoyed at the Giannis criticism once again, and that this will be my last statement on
Okay.
this, right? Giannis is the greatest player Milwaukee Bucks has
Ever
ever
had?
fielded,
Ever had?
right? He was the best player on the court tonight.
Correct.
Did he have a perfect game? No.
No.
But was he the sole reason, the number one reason, the number 5 reason that we lost the game? No. His was so down on the line. However, when you are the head of the totem pole, then your issues are going to be highlighted, however small, even if they're not the number one problem, especially if we're having a discussion on the entirety of the issue,
All right, agree with you,
which
King Keith.
includes Giannis, right? So I just thought that the Andrew Wiggins question was
Interesting.
interesting, but yeah, you know what I mean? But definitely, I see one of the responses is Chris for Wiggins. That person who said that is absolutely bugging now.
Yeah, I'm
No,
not doing that.
yeah, no way, no way. But as always,
Yo,
it's
what
just
is this
basketball. We
talking?
lost. We'll get
Yeah,
over it.
this is crazy. This is what I'm saying, y'all. All we were, no one is blaming Giannis. I don't understand why y'all saying we're blaming Giannis. No one. I don't
This
even
is
see where we blame
fine.
Giannis about anything. I call
Bro,
y'all.
if I were,
The, bro,
bro, I'll still say it, Amara. I'll still say it, right? In today's loss, we shouldn't have even mentioned Giannis' name at all. Because whether we like it or not, yes, he's the main guy, and yes, some
But
blames need
we're
to be
not
attributed to
mentioning him
him.
like
But
that
but
though.
but but, but there
We
are
just said
games.
moving the ball.
Like,
Can't we that? I mean that's crazy. I can't say he could have moved the ball a little bit when it got
That
stagnant. I can't say that.
bro, that's our greatest player. We don't want that. Amara.
Mr. Smith,
We don't
am
want
I
people
bugging?
to.
Am I bugging, Mr.
We
Smith?
don't.
no,
Because
no.
our
But
problems are even worse
also,
than what our problems are worse than what Yanis, what
Yeah, I
the
agree.
inconsequential
But
mistakes of Yanis.
that's very
Exactly. So
smart.
we need to actually
I
pinpoint
guess we
those
banned
problems
from
more
saying
than
we can't
Yanis.
even say he can pass now. We just got to be completely quiet about Giannis. Yo,
yeah,
wow,
no,
we wouldn't even
that's
say nothing crazy, bro. All right, let me get to this comment section before it get too late. We gonna finish this in the next
All right,
live.
cheers.
So, all right, salute to you, Mr.
All right,
Smith.
bro.
Salute to you, Chitty. All
salute,
right,
salute.
y'all. Man, I don't know. I think there's some miscommunication here in the chat. Nobody's talking crazy about Giannis. Well, I just said we just talked about some ball movement, and now it's like we're going in on Giannis. No, Bucks Nation. Let's relax. Nobody's going in on Giannis. I've said multiple times on this podcast, Giannis will get a statue. We were just saying maybe some different kind of ball movements and going back to the pick and roll would have helped getting some easier shots maybe for Dame. That's all we were saying. And now it's why are y'all talking about nobody? Giannis had a triple double. He's the reason we were in this game. We got nothing from Dame. We got nothing from the bench. If anybody's responsible for this loss tonight, like I said, it's the bench. They got outscored by one man. I also blame Bobby Portis. You doing a lot of huffing and puffing, punching on people, punch the basketball into the hoop. Come on, man. Hey, let's be cool in the chat. I see a couple of y'all getting a little too heated. Let's just be calm, y'all. Let's be calm. Marcus Little said, I believe I heard someone a while back say Dame doesn't show up for big games. Someone said Portis doesn't show up for big games. I feel it's true, but I'll watch. I'm gonna pay attention to it too. I've been paying attention for Bobby. I'm gonna pay attention for Dame too. But let me just throw this stat up here because somebody was brought up Lillard, brought up Curry, right? Just to show y'all, Curry ain't perfect either. He had 13 and 18 against quality opponents, Miami and Denver, and then styled on Portland and Washington, right? I just want y'all to see that. Everybody has off nights. He had back-to-back off nights, and he's the greatest shooter of all time. I just want people to put things in perspective. That's all I want y'all to see right there. Just put that into perspective. Mr. Cool said, I don't think no one is blaming Giannis, but all the players, including Giannis, have to make good decisions. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Nobody is blamed. We would never blame Giannis. King Key said, Griff solid. We got to stop using him as a bailout. Dudes not hooping and they blaming the coaches, Mark Phillips. Okay, I agree that they're not playing well either. I agree with that. But having an offensive identity would help. Sucker Free Tay said Griff a good assistant to an assistant coach is hilarious. Kobe White said, how's this switching to Giannis and blame? Nobody's blaming Giannis. Kobe White said embarrassing fan base. That's wild. Pronte Hinton said Dame had a terrible game. He was getting locked up. He was just missing shots. But yeah, he had a terrible, terrible game. Dark Kent said Griff got to get the team not buying into whatever strategy he's selling. I guess I got to agree with that. Tony Jackson said the Pacers ran havoc off the line. TJ McConnell, seriously right. But the thing is, they were getting a lot of calls. The refs had a huge impact in this game today as well. It wasn't just the Bucks. The refs had a huge impact on this game. Let's keep it real. Let's get them likes up, y'all. Appreciate you. Mr. 414 said we got to stop treating Giannis like he's above any and all criticism. Shooting threes is not his game. Giannis shoots a three and misses. That's a turnover. Yep. That's fair. Patricia P said that Kobe, I don't think they're blaming Giannis. They're just analyzing the play for everybody. I think we all know that without Giannis, we're nothing. That's a fact. Exactly. How many times have I said he's going to get a statue outside of Fiserv? Kobe, he did make a lot of good plays. We just called out one or two things, and now it's just a windstorm now. He had a triple-double. He played great. Soto Lee said, is today's loss about the 2 free throws from Giannis? No, it's about the bench not doing anything. That's why we lost. No Straight said using Dame and guarding in the same sentence. Oh, come on, bro. That was hilarious, though. Milwaukee Black was good. Giannis has only unlocked 80% of his potential. The other 20% is mental, not physical. Interesting. Giannis had a great game. Chris had a great game. They shouldn't even come up in these conversations. They did play well. There's a couple of turnovers though. Yeah, that's all we're saying. There was a couple of turnovers, a couple of things that could tighten up. That's it. I'm just so confused. Soto Lee said Dame Beasley can't defend. I will agree with that. They're not the best. Dark Kent said Pacers got McConnell making plays. Bucks got Conman Connaughton. Connaughton did not have his best night. I will say that. What up, Ali Benjamin? I think the argument of Ajax is becoming more apparent. We will see changes. I agree. I hope so. Two Red Violin was good. Griffin has nothing to do with the offense. We have great offense because of Giannis and Dame, and to some extent Malik. Griffin, who bragged about being a defensive coach specialist, but our team is D is bad. Yeah, agreed. Two Red Violin. Shout out to you. Soto Lee said, okay, no, he did not play badly at all. He had a triple double. He had a monster game. He was the best. He was the best player in the court. Gabagool said, people say Dame's always out partying. Any truth to that, Milwaukee local? I don't go out like that, but I haven't heard anything. I would have heard something. Pronte said, I disagree. Dame was terrible. Y'all haven't held Dame accountable. Y'all haven't talked about Dame. He was the reason they lost. Giannis had a really good game. I don't know what time you came into the live, Pronte, but I immediately talked about Dame today, and we've been talking about him consistently that he played trash. Along with the bench, along with Bobby Portis. We've definitely said Middleton is back. He's had multiple 20-point games. Giannis had a triple-double. We said Dame played terrible today, and the bench. This is all on live, so you can definitely rewind and rewatch the live, which I hope you do, and you will see that I was talking about Dame right off the rip. King Key said anybody can get it 100. Yeah, bro, anybody can. Let me make sure. Oh, what up, Jimmy Roller? What up? What up? We're an army of lions led by a sheep. Shout out to you. That was wild. The truth said, what is it? We weren't just talking about Giannis. It was just that they were trying to explain they weren't trying to slander him. That was all. I think we got to clear it up. Marcus Little said Fletcher and many of those momentum killers came from Middleton turnovers. There's some validity to that. Let me get the super chat in here. What up, Nick? Get your super chat. Shout out to Nick. A player appreciate the 199 super chat. Pacers' young legs and rebounds was killing us. Absolutely. We looked a little slow today. B Shot said, thanks, Mr. Cool, coming for you. That's a high compliment. Let me see what Mr. Cool said. I have to look for that comment up here. Let me get through the rest of these. What up, Daniel? I see you. What up, Patricia? Seven SF said Wiggins has no heart. Yeah, I don't want Wiggins. Wiggins is soft. King Key said I'm cool on Wiggins. Yeah, I'm cool on Wiggins. Yeah, I'm cool. B-Shots, I hope I didn't come off the wrong way. I just got a little It's all good, B-Shack. Salute to you. Appreciate you. Christopher Wiggins is a no-go. Zane, what's good? Chitty face, turquoise, drinking coffee. What? All right, Zane. Give Chitty and John Rand 5-game suspension. It's crazy. Oh, Daniel, what up, bro? Said laughing out loud. Oh, my God. Maurice Bay was good tonight. Dame played like he just got... Come on, bro. I can't even read all that. Come on, bro. Mr. Cool said Jordan was criticized. Kobe was criticized. LeBron gets criticism. That happens. Facts. Salute. Facts. Pronte said Dame is the problem. Okay, then what do we do? Should we cut Dame? Should we trade him, Pronte? What do you want to do with Dame? Mr. Smith said that's wild, that Maurice. Oh, yo, wow. Let me see. Wait a minute. What's good? Just praise Giannis, bro. Dame is the reason why the Bucks lost. You want to blame it on Dame? Blame it on Dame. Dame played terrible today. That's fine. You want to blame Dame? The bench had no issues at all. Okay. It was just Dame's fault. Okay. Salute to you. Wait a minute. Sal Cali said Dame for Curry. This I don't know, same thing. Pronte said, looking at the shooting percentage, Dame isn't shooting the ball well. He sleeps on defense, too. Understood. Dark Kent said, wasting a portion of Giannis' prime years with Griff as the coach. Damn. Wait a minute, Henry, y'all shouldn't even mention Giannis, period. Blame Dame Lillard. We held Dame. We've been talking about Dame, and he played bad today as well. We were talking about the bench. I'm surprised you guys aren't mentioning the bench. The bench had less than 20 points today. That was a factor as well. Kerry said, I think the Dame trade was a mistake. Okay, so Kerry, you think we'd just be better if we would have just kept our team from last year? Let me know in the comment section. Mr. Smith said, salute to Mr. Cool. Deshaun Hill said, they got to prevent offensive rebound. That's one of the main problems. Not everybody is boxing out. That's why I always say we got to iron out the fundamentals. AJ said, when we sack Griffin, I would be happy. Damn. Brandon, what up, Brandon? We can't blame for this loss on Giannis. We'll need some good ball movement and play with more confidence and more effort and more power. Agreed. Green Ranger was good. Bobby Portis killed us. Look at the quality of the shots he missed. Literally no defenders in sight. Dame had a bad game, but he missed some tough shots that he normally makes. Dame will be fine. I agree, but I agree, but I understand why they bomb it too. He played terrible today. He played terrible. Kerry said our defense is terrible, and then she said that's on the coach. That's. Marcus Little says stats for stats. Both teams played fairly even. I think we had too many bad momentum killing turnovers and let the Pacers back in the tame and couldn't close out. I agree. King Key said they did have a New Year's party last night. That still ain't no excuse because Giannis came out and had a triple double. Middleton was hooping. I can't use that as an excuse. Lakeshore exclusive was good. We need some defense off the bench. Possibly sign our big from the G League. I mean, we got some players. I don't know. Wait a minute, said Amber. I can't believe y'all actually blame Giannis for anything. Dude did everything, but y'all still find something to blame. Dame lost the game. Can you tell me what we blamed on Giannis? I guess I want some clarification on that. What did we blame on? What was blamed on Giannis? Kerry said Marcus Smart. King Key said Caruso. Both would be good options. I know more than you said. Why would Giannis play off the ball? He's the only non-elite shooter on the team. It's the LeBron dilemma. 2, he ran the offense well. Why y'all coming down Giannis' poor coaching and bench? Nobody was coming down on Giannis, bro. Nobody came down on him. We said the ball movement was excellent in the first quarter. Why didn't we stick with that? That's literally all we said. Yeah, we're going to have to talk next live because some of y'all tripping or misconstruing words. It's not defensive rebound hurts. The Bucks are not getting offensive rebounds. Facts, Marcus Little. WFSO was good. Dame just got to get used to his role. It's the bench. It's to blame for this loss and coach. The bench played terrible tonight, y'all. I don't know what else to say. And Dame. Those are the main points we lost today. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Could we get 2 more likes to get to 70? Appreciate it, Bucks Nation. This was a very heated live after this loss. I hope some of y'all was getting a little extra in the comment section. Could y'all please try not to get too personal with each other? Hey, this is friends and family. We all come in peace. We all have our opinions, but let's just keep it respectful in the chat. Appreciate y'all and salute the Bucks Nation. BSGK9 was good. Amber, who would you be looking to get on the Bucks before the deadline? I have to see who's available and what we're willing to give up. There's a lot of people I want, but I don't know if it's feasible. We have the 3rd highest payroll in the NBA. Appreciate y'all hitting that like. Thank you. Mr. Hurt said, great live stream, great points, and we'll still win that chip. Facts. We just talk about everything that happened. Like I said, no slander. Giannis getting the statue. He played great tonight. We were just saying what we saw that needs improvement, y'all. That's it. We'll be better next game. I'll see y'all here for the after the next live. And if you know real Bucks fans, tell them to tune in. We here after every game, either at 9 p.m. CST or 10 p.m. if I got to get home from the game. Appreciate y'all. Much love. Happy New Year to Bucks Nation. I hope all y'all have a great 2024, and we going to roll this podcast to the Bucks winning a championship this year. We going to have some hurdles, y'all, but let's be strong. Let's support this team, and let's enjoy the journey of us getting this chip in 2024. Salute to y'all. Peace. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. We just need to bite down. Dame need to play better. We got to get some production off this bench. This bench has not been the best. So we got to get that together, y'all. But we straight. And peace and love to all of y'all. My boy Gibson didn't tap in today. But I want to say peace and love to Bucks Nation. And please have a good 2024. And I hope in the next live it'll be more of a positive vibe because we will win, y'all. We straight. Don't even trip, y'all. We'll be back. And hey, y'all, feel free to tap in too. The link is there for all of y'all. That's for all of Bucks Nation. Whoever want to tap in. Don't be scared. Come and say your piece. Don't just say it in the chat. Come on live. Let us see you and let's debate. Salute. All right, y'all.